I'm going to talk to you about best way to train a squirrel dog or a pup. I remember one time I was talking to an older gentleman, and I love talking to the guys that are older than me that have been in this a lot longer than I have. And I said, man, tell me some tricks, some tips, best way to train a squirrel dog. And I'll never forget what he told me. He said, the best advice I can give you is wear about 3 pair of boots out on one. And there's a lot of truth to that. And what he meant by that was keep them in the woods. You got to do a lot of walking to train a squirrel dog. By far the best way is to start them as they're a pup, work with them. There's just a lot that goes along with, you don't just, a lot of people will think, well, I have a squirrel dog, keep him in a pen, and then come squirrel season, I can get him out and hunt him and we're good to go, but it just doesn't happen that way. A lot of hours goes into training a squirrel dog. And the younger you can start them, the better. Get them in the woods. A lot of times I take my older dogs out and we'll keep a squirrel or two to take back to the pen with my dogs and just let them smell it, let them see it. A lot of times as I do that, as they smell it, I'll chain them up to a tree, and then I'll take a drag with that squirrel and drag it around the house or hang it out in the woods or somewhere and start letting the puppy go on it and letting him work the trail, work the scent, try to get to the tree and see if he can find it, pet him up, reward him as he begins to do that. And so as you're training them, there's just a lot of things you have to teach them. Most dogs have it in their genetics to hunt, and you can see them in the woods as they're beginning to get closer to it, and you can see them as they're on one that's hot, and they might be barking on the ground and getting excited. One of the biggest things as they begin to do that is teaching them to stay on the tree. A lot of times when they're young, you probably have to chain them on the tree for a little while to let them know that, hey, you've got to stay on the tree. But as they get older, hopefully you get away from that. You don't have to keep them on a chain, and they're free to roam and do what they can do. And they'll stay on the tree, they'll wait on you. I love with my dogs, they might tree 300 or 400 yards away, and they might split tree and another one tree on the way. And they know to stay there once you get that into their system and teach them. And you have to do that. If they don't, they come off the tree, they come back to you. And so the best advice I can give on that is put them in the woods, start them early. Don't get discouraged. I've had some dogs that, one of my dogs we took today, Dot, she started treeing at 4 months old. Her first season, she was 6, 7 months old, and I don't know how many we killed off of her, a lot. Some of my other dogs didn't start good till they were 2-year-old. And so don't give up on a dog when they're young. Sometimes it just takes them a little bit longer to mature and get to where they can tree and be a good squirrel dog. One of the best squirrel dogs I ever had was about 2 years old when he started treeing, and he's 9 or 10 now and still treeing, still doing good. So you just have to be patient. It takes a lot of patience. If there's one word, key word that I could use in training a dog, it would be patience. Be patient with them, don't get aggravated with them, and just let them do what they're bred to do.